our senior project this year, we were given the opportunity to simulate a real-world design firm. Hi, I'm Brandon, and my part of the project was to document everything and put it into one big video at the end of the year. So one of the really cool things about this project in particular is that we use something called horizontal vertical learning, which Sarah will explain right here.
Basically what horizontal vertical learning means is that you're wrapping freshman, sophomore, junior, senior level students across the board into different areas of one big project. It provides mentoring, it provides a chance for seniors to teach freshmen some of the tricks of the trade.
So Sarah had a really cool idea for us, and that was to use all of our skills and our passions and what we actually really want to do when we get out of college to make a huge project.
So this project had a lot of moving parts, and my biggest challenge this year was the senior group being ready for a real world project. It's a special group with a lot of different talents and skills, and I think it was important for them to be in a learn by context and a learn by doing situation. So the challenge was to find a client that was willing to dream big and willing to do that publicly. So that's where the idea baby was born. We got to meet with Janelle Faust, and she was willing to work with all of the wide skills, all of our areas of expertise. And she is willing to bring her experience to the table.
I'm Janelle Faust, and I live here in Richmond, Indiana, on the border of New Paris and Richmond, Indiana. I'm an herbalist, a clinical herbalist, a yoga instructor, and I'm a Reiki master, which is a Japanese healing vibration technique that helps reduce stress and builds the immune system as well.
So in our talking, our big question, our big dream is, what if you could have a center that was able to pass on all of your knowledge as a legacy? What would that look like, and how could our students bring their skills to the table and help that dream become a reality?
Hi, I'm Brandon. I'm the lead web developer in the project.
I'm Chloe, and I am the BIM Project Leader.
I'm Keaton McDaniel. I'm the 2D graphic designer for this project.
I'm Trenton Evans. I'm the VR specialist.
Hello, my name is Jacob Moles, and I am project leader of the BIM team, the Building Information Modeling team.
These three, this one are crossed off.
Yeah, I would say actually these four.
Okay.
And the rest of them are very nice.
So how does this fall work within like the seasons?
It's year round.
Even winter?
Even in the winter.
Nice.
Even in the snow.
When we originally designed the space, we were wanting to make sure that we thought through how each space would be used, the type of environment people would be walking into, and essentially we just made sure that everything flowed together in a way it would make sense.
So when we went into making the logo design, we started by thinking about what colors would give off the look that Janelle wanted. And then after that, we made a bunch of different iterations of logos for her.
So in week 3, we actually went to the site and kind of looked at what it looked like, what the sizes were, what we needed to make the sizes for the 3D model, just to help us bring it to life a little bit.
This side should probably be where the cafe is, because she said that we can use that for parking, and that could be a separate parking lot just for the cafe.
Oh, no, that's right.
So when we did go to this site to overview the layout of the land, we saw we had a lot of space to work with.
We also had to think about the surrounding area and sounds that we would need to block out, such as trains.
I never heard it. That was like the first time I've heard it.
Didn't had to confine the building to any particular space, so we were able to design more freely.
Instead of having like the buildings at a complete arc, almost like follow the tree line.
Oh yeah.
and then have like the pool
Like
in here,
Yeah.
and then have the buildings over here.
So it's definitely like going to be some space for people to like walk from each building to each building, especially if there's some of them were like 10 foot by 10 foot, and then there was 18 by 18 foot.
So 10 foot is really just...
I want to get a view of how much that is. So this is 10 feet right here, and then 18 feet is right here.
After viewing the property, Janelle actually took us to her house and showed us some of her medicines and the foods that she makes, and it was really cool. Then we went through something called a labyrinth, and basically what a labyrinth is kind of like a maze, except you go in with a question and then you leave with an answer.
You're letting the directions, the 4 directions, you're letting the plants, and you're letting the labyrinth itself and your internal guide start to speak to you, because you're quiet, and it can. So I'll let you journey out.
My question going into the labyrinth was, how could I just take the pressure and stress off of myself? And it was simply just not care what other people thought and would think of my creative work. And so I took that idea when designing the outside of the building.
I jokingly asked what the key to success was, of course, and I actually got an answer, which was interesting, and the answer was, what makes you unsuccessful? And it kind of hit me pretty hard, so it was an interesting experience, and I would definitely recommend it for anybody who's interested.
Okay, so today we went into Sarah's CGT 118 class, which is the entry-level CGT class, to talk about Janelle's project. We're having them design logos, company names, and business cards, mainly. And then once they've made their designs, we're going to show them all to Janelle, and she's going to decide what she likes about them, if she wants to use them, because she might choose theirs over one of our designs, and that's fine with us. Or we can use their ideas with their permission to kind of change it, or maybe even integrate it into one of our already existing ideas.
The next few weeks we just kind of worked on the final product, and then Janelle came in and we presented it to her.
I think we were confidently nervous. We had 3 people in our group, Chloe, me, and Trenton, that we had several different perspectives. We had good ideas, but was she going to pick all of it or some of it?
Wow. Yeah. You thought of a whole lot more than I did. Yeah. That is
Nice work, everybody.
Nice work. Wow.
So Janelle actually really liked the building modeling team's work and what they did, and she even said things like, I didn't think about this, and then they created it, which is kind of crazy.
It just felt really good to get good feedback from her.
Seeing her like our design and think of ways in which we'd never thought she would think was really kind of interesting. It was, it really knocked our expectations out of the park.
She didn't like the logo design as much.
So what we did was we had the underclassmen come in and help us make some designs, and she actually picked one of theirs, which we were very happy about.
So another big part of the real world is that not everyone is going to like what we do. So I think it was great that she had some revisions for us and had things to change, because like I said, in the real world, not everyone's going to love what we're doing. For the next couple weeks, we worked on the final products that we were going to give to Janelle. Building team worked on the 3D models. The logo team helped with the logo, and everything came out pretty nice. And then Janelle came in for the final showing.
That's perfect.
So
That's
like
what
that
I
look?
wanted.
Okay, sweet.
Yes. I knew you were going into this, but I wanted to stop and say that's exactly what I wanted.
My final thoughts on the project, through the whole pipeline, I think it was kind of cool to see how we would switch off certain elements when I would pass it on to Jacob, or Jacob would pass it back to me, or just the way that we gave information to each other was kind of cool to get that work experience, as well as just seeing the final result and seeing Janelle happy with what we produced. Just really made me feel good.
It was a great experience to have right before we graduate, that we're soon to be in the workforce dealing with actual clients and dealing with real-world problems.
But it got me to appreciate nature in a way that I haven't before in my life, which is actually look at the hedges and look at the natural beauty of things rather than stone cold city in which I was kind of born and raised in. So
I think we've learned a lot along the way, like having to make more of a corporate identity. Because throughout this, we've explored more of just individually developing our own skills, but not really fully applying them. We didn't really get a good grasp on what it was like to work in a, corporate setting. This really gave us that experience and sort of allowed us to figure out what we would do in that scenario.
So I really enjoyed this. This is a very good learning experience for us. I really liked that we were able to kind of simulate a firm so that we had some sort of job experience before we graduated.
This project was awesome. The fact that I was able to leave with a video that I can use in my portfolio, Brandon was able to have a website and corporate branding along with Keaton, and Jacob, Chloe, Trenton leave with a very nice finished 3D model. Everybody just has something that they can show off, and it's fantastic. Janelle and Sarah are wonderful human beings, and I think I can say it for everybody when I say that we can't thank you enough for this experience that you've given to us.
It's been quite an opportunity for me and quite an honor. I mean, every one of you, you've put everything you've had, heart and soul into it. I can tell that. You can always tell when somebody's put their heart and soul into it, not just their hand, their pen, on paper. You can, that's what makes a project, when the heart and soul goes into it.
but again, thank you.
Thank you. Oh.
It's been a trip.
It's better than the plan.
I know. 'Cause I've had a dream of doing an interactive building for years, and Janelle's had this dream for years, and we just happened upon this conversation, and we're like, and then you all came along, and I'm like, and you were all part of that Star Jeanette, and I thought, Michelle has trained them up. This is the group. It's time. Let's do it. So it's been awesome.